This is the virtual walk-around of the 1970 Mustang Mach 1. We'll start with the exterior. As you can see, there's some surface rust on the roof. As far as I know, the paint on the roof is all original, as is the paint on most of the car. The window corners are solid. There is some surface rust, but there's no rust through. See, this corner is a little better even. And there's a slight dent on the roof. I think you can see it here on the video. Real shallow right there. And then again right here, as if somebody climbed up on the roof perhaps at one point. And again, that's just a real light surface rust on the metal from sitting outside in the sun back in California where the paint oxidized. That's solid, no rust through there. And the worst damage on the car is right here. Some front end damage on the hood. And the only piece of bright work that I know of that's missing is that front edge, the chrome that would go on there. Again, solid, no rust through there. And got some surface rust here. Now you can probably see the difference in the paint color on that left front fender. So that fender was painted, and I had it off one time. There was just the slightest bit of Bondo on it, right about where that Mustang emblem is, but nothing real major. I think there's a slight dent in that front valance somewhere. I think it's right there, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. And that corner piece was on there when I got the car. This fender, I believe, has had some repainting done on it. As you can see probably on the video here, the color's a little bit different, a little lighter. But I haven't seen any obvious signs of body damage on it. And then down this side you can see a fair number of door dings. The car used to be parked in a driveway for many, many years. I think it took a lot of hits. And then this rear quarter has had some repainting done on it as well. I don't know if you can quite make out the color difference, but it's right about here and sweeps up across the top. So I'm not sure what was going on there, but even from the inside I haven't seen any damage. We'll take a look at that in a minute. Some more dings on this side. And the back end. Everything's here. All the chrome's a little pitted. Lots of patina on everything. You can see from the registration there, the car hasn't been on the road for a long time. I think it was last driven in 1986. And let's take a look down this side. I don't know how well it'll show up. Not much dinging on this side, I think, because this side was away from the driveway where most of the parking was going on. Maybe you can see that the fender's off color there. Okay. These tires are very old. I looked them up online. I think they were last made in the early 80s. And surprisingly, they've held air, except for one of them went down a little bit, but I've only had to put air in them once. but I'm afraid to drive them on the road because they're very old. So here we have the trunk. I'm not sure how well it'll show up on video, but I believe most of that is California emissions equipment that's back in there. I don't know if that's normal on non-California Mustangs as well. Let's see if I can give you a shot down on the fender well. Don't know if there's enough light. The only place on the car where I've seen anything even close to rust through is here. The metal's a little bit spongy around this drain plug. But other than that, I haven't found any rust through. Take a look at this side. So this quarter panel had been painted on the outside, but I don't see any evidence of bodywork on the inside. There's another drain plug. Oh yeah, that one's squishy. So those are the only places in the car that I've seen anything that remotely looks like rust through. Of course, this thing opens up to the inside. I've had the tank out and professionally cleaned. Put a new sending unit in it, which works great. Channel's all clean. Okay, let's take a look underneath. You can see the metal's solid. New exhaust pipe, muffler, shock absorbers. Haven't done anything with the rear diff other than make sure it's got clean gear oil in it. Haven't done anything with the brakes, but they do work. Let's see, solid metal up there and everywhere. It's real clean underneath. All new U-joints. You can see the leaf spring mounts are nice and solid. Rockers, nice and solid. That subframe. Floor pan is nice and solid, yeah, like everything else. I don't know if this will work, but take a look at the inside of the front fender well. Control arm. Got a little splatter on the oil pan from the last time I washed it. I don't know how well this is coming across, but you can see it's real clean inside. Everything's solid. Passenger side, front fender well. New shocks on the front too. I don't know if you can see that. I do. Motorcraft shocks. Evaporator or whatever that thing's called, part of the emissions. See, all the metal is just, you know, some of it has a little bit of surface rust on it, but it's very, very solid and clean. There's the FMX trans, the new tranny lines, passenger side, rocker. Real clean, real hot, real solid. I guess I keep saying it's solid, don't I? Floor pan. Let's see if I can reach it up in there. Look around. So I had the motor out and I cleaned the engine compartment back to bare metal in most places and sprayed it with satin black POR 15. And the engine was rebuilt professionally. 30 over. It's not the original Holly or the original carb, that's a Holly single pumper, but I've got the original Autolite carb that goes with it, 4-barrel. Now the radiator, it's got the original tanks, but I had it recored. It's a triple core radiator. I salvaged as much original stuff as I could. I got a Pertronix ignition on it. That's electronic ignition. And a Pertronix Flamethrower 3 coil. But as you can see, the inside's real clean. Let's have a look at the inside. So the rear cargo area is in really good shape. The only real problem back here is that those cardboard inserts in the corners are kind of crusty and hanging down. The headliner needs to be replaced. It may look good from here, but you can probably see I had to do some stitching on that front rib just to hold it up. The mice got up in that thing and wrecked it, so it really could use a new headliner. And then the worst damage in the interior is right here on the driver's seat. Pretty typical wear. So the seat would definitely need to be recovered. Steering wheel's a bit rough. These inserts have all come out, and when I have the horn hooked up, or the two horns up in the front of the car, they constantly blare, so apparently this switch inside is stuck on. Or maybe it's a horn relay, I don't know. And I have the plastic piece that goes under here, but the tabs are broken on it, so that really should be replaced. And you can see a little bit of wear on the carpet from driving. And there's a spot here that looks like maybe a trouble light was lying on the pad and melted it. But it's pretty solid, pretty straight. There's an old 1980s era cassette player missing a knob. And then the new dash pad that I put on. Here's the center console. A little hacked up there, and the lid seems a little dried out. But it works. Oh, and I have the rear view mirror. It fell off. Just needs to be glued back on. Door panels are in pretty good shape. Got some aftermarket speakers installed, unfortunately. You can see the doors are nice and solid. Still got most of the original paint on there. And the door closes nicely. Missing an insert here. You can see the courtesy lights work when the passenger side door is open. I didn't replace those bulbs. They're original. I mean, they were in the car when I bought it in 1999. You can see the carpet's in good shape. Seat back's clean. Passenger side seat is pretty good shape. It's got some little bit of a bulge or something going on there, but it's pretty straight. Not a lot of wear on this side. There's the Mach 1 clock. Clock does not work. Quick shot of the back seat.